All right, let's dive into some serious wisdom today. We're breaking down one of Denzel Washington's most powerful speeches. It's basically a masterclass on how to think about failure, dreams, and, the whole point of it all.
And boom, he kicks things off with this. This single idea is the foundation for everything else he talks about. See, for Denzel, taking risks isn't just a good idea. It's a flat-out requirement for living a life that actually means something. It really sets the stage for a totally different way of looking at your own life.
Okay, so if taking risks is so essential, what happens when we inevitably mess up? This brings us to Denzel's first huge theme, and it challenges a piece of advice I'm pretty sure we've all heard about a million times. You know the one, right? The classic safety net. Your parents, your teachers, everyone says, have a plan B. But Denzel says he never really understood that idea, the whole concept of having something to fall back on.
This right here shows the two mindsets perfectly. Falling back, well, that's retreating. It's playing it safe, maybe even settling for less, just so you can avoid the sting of failure. But falling forward, that's a whole different game. That's about running full speed, knowing you might trip, and instead of avoiding it, you lean into it to see what you can learn from the fall.
And here's the kicker. He's not saying you might fail. He's saying it's a guarantee. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You are absolutely going to suck at something. In a world where we're all trying to look perfect online, that's a radical thought. But instead of fearing it, he says you've got to embrace it. Why? Because it's the only proof that you're even trying.
And listen, this isn't just some theory for him. He lived it. Early in his career, he auditioned for a Broadway musical. He thought the role was perfect for him. Just one tiny little problem: he couldn't sing at all. So of course, he didn't get the job. But he didn't quit. He didn't fall back on that plan B.
Nope, he just got ready for the next audition, and the next one after that. And check out the payoff. A full 30 years later, he's starring on Broadway in the incredible play Fences, performing in the exact same theater where he had that crushing failure. How amazing is that?
So he asks this question, and it's one we should all probably ask ourselves, because if you're not failing, you're not even trying. So, do you have the guts to fail? So you're ready to take a risk, you're willing to fail, but what exactly are you failing for? That's where Denzel's next big idea comes into play: how to turn those big aspirations into something real. Man, this is so simple, but it's so true. Having a dream is awesome, but it's just a fantasy, right? It's just a wish floating around in your head until you attach goals to it. Goals are the bridge that connects your imagination to your reality. They demand discipline and hard work. And to hit those goals, you're gonna stumble. Denzel points to some legendary people to prove that behind every huge success story is a long, long history of failure that most of us never even see. Just look at this number. Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, one of the greatest home run hitters ever. He also struck out 2,600 times. That is the most strikeouts in the entire history of baseball. That's 2,600 public failures. But nobody remembers the strikeouts, do they? We don't build statues to commemorate strikeouts. We remember the home runs. We remember those moments of glory that only happened because he was willing to swing big and miss, over and over and over again. Or what about Thomas Edison? Before he finally invented the light bulb, he ran through 1,000 failed experiments. Just think about that, the sheer resilience it takes to fail 1,000 times and just keep on going. It's just mind-boggling.
See, he understood a key principle. Each failure wasn't a dead end. It was just progress. It was one more step forward, because he learned another way not to do it, which got him that much closer to the one way that worked.
Okay, so you've got your goals, you're falling forward, but Denzel says the journey isn't just about what you get, it's about what you give.
And this really shifts the focus, doesn't it? In Denzel's eyes, real success isn't measured by your stuff or the number in your bank account. It's measured by your impact. In a world that's obsessed with what we own, that's a pretty radical idea. It's all about how you use your unique gifts to lift others up.
And the beautiful thing is, everyone has a gift. It could be your time, your talent, your patience, your kindness. Maybe it's money, or maybe it's your prayers. Whatever it is that you have, that's your treasure to share with the world.
Now, to really drive this point home, he shares this really powerful, kind of haunting image. He says to imagine you're at the very end of your life, and standing around your bed are the ghosts of all your unfulfilled potential. The ideas you never tried, the talents you never used. And they're angry. They're disappointed because you were the only person who could have brought them to life.
And then he asks, so how many ghosts are going to be standing around your dead when your time comes? That is a heavy question.
Finally, Denzel leaves us with a little bit of comfort and realism. Because after all this talk of risk and failure and giving, it's easy to feel a little overwhelmed. But he wants you to know your path is not supposed to be a straight line.
And he uses his own story to prove it. I mean, look at this. He started off pre-med, then switched to pre-law, then jumped over to journalism. All the while, his GPA just tanked all the way down to a 1.8. Eventually, the university politely suggested he take some time off. His path was a complete mess.
But at his absolute lowest point, something incredible happened. A woman in his mom's beauty salon, a complete stranger, looked him in the eye and gave him a prophecy. She just said, "Young boy, you are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people." And, well, she was right. And really, that's what this is all about. Taking risks, embracing failure, chasing goals, giving your gifts away, and just understanding that your path is going to have some twists and turns. But through it all, the one lesson that holds it all together, the two words to remember are these: fall forward.